Level 1. The selection. The door closes behind you and the sound it makes is not a slam, it is a click. Precise. Final. The room smells like concrete dust and recycled air, and the fluorescent light above hums at a frequency that will live in your molars for the next 72 hours. You are standing inside the assessment and selection course at Fort Bragg, and nobody here knows your name. They don't want to. You carry a rucksack loaded to 55 pounds. You do not know the distance of the land navigation course you're about to run. That is the first lesson. Information is a privilege you have not yet earned. Invisible rule. Level 1. Candidates who ask how far the next event is are quietly marked. Not for elimination, for observation. Delta doesn't want men who need a finish line. It wants men who continue without one. The sensory anchor here is cold, not wind cold, processing cold. The kind that lives inside your joints at 0300 in the Appalachian Ridgeline when your GPS is forbidden, and your only tool is a lensatic compass and a 150,000 scale topographic map. You are a data point inside a stress inoculation protocol. You don't know that yet. You think this is about survival. It is not. It is about observation. They are watching how you fail. You are not Delta. You are not anything yet. Level 2, the operator you passed. 18 months of SFQC pipeline, CQB certification, and enough hey-ho jumps to stop flinching at altitude. You are now a newly badged first SFOD-D operator, and for the first time, the building you walk into has no sign on the door. The smell here is hops number 9 solvent and burnt coffee. It will be the smell of every good day you will have for the next 4 years. You train under a squadron sergeant major who communicates primarily in silence and controlled repetition. Your shoothouse drills run on a standard called the failure drill. 2 center mass, 1 cranial vault. But inside the compound, they call it the Mozambique Plus, and the plus refers to a target transition that is classified and will not appear in any open source manual. Invisible rule, level 2. Every new operator is given a deliberate exposure to a non-permissive environment within the first deployment cycle, not as a lead element but as a rear security asset. The mission isn't the point. Learning to be irrelevant inside a functioning machine is. You feel useful. That is the last uncomplicated feeling you will have. Level 3. The Staff Sergeant. You are 3 deployments deep. Iraq, Syria. 1 location that does not appear in your service record. You now understand that the war has layers, and you are operating in the middle ones, below strategic command, above tactical execution. A staff sergeant in 1st SFOD-D does not manage men. He manages variables. The sensory anchor at this level is heat, the specific heat of a vehicle's interior when it has been parked for 11 hours, under direct sun, in a denied area while you wait for a high-value target to move through a kill box designated on your JBCP terminal as a 14-digit MGRS grid coordinate. Invisible rule, level 3. When a direct action mission is scrubbed inside the final 90-minute window, operators are required to submit a SITREP using a specific brevity code, Romeo November, that signals abort without attribution. The phrase never appears in the after-action review. It is used to protect a different set of assets entirely. You have stopped dreaming, not from trauma, from efficiency. Your brain has reclassified sleep as system maintenance and discontinued the simulation sequences it no longer finds useful. Level 4. The Sergeant First Class. You lead assaulters now, 8 men. You brief in a skiff using a PowerPoint presentation that requires a TS-SCI compartmented clearance to view. The slides contain no unit insignia. The target package includes pattern of life analysis, social network diagrams, and a behavioral profile generated by a signals intelligence fusion cell you will never meet in person. The smell of this level is recycled jet air. You live on C-17S, on G-550 transports, in the dead space between time zones where your body no longer carries a biological clock. Invisible rule, level 4. Squadron-level operators at SFC grade are briefed on an internal rotation protocol called deep cover adjacency, the practice of embedding a single operator in a non-military entity for a period not exceeding 180 days. This is not an official program. It has no CONOP number. It exists in a verbal chain of authority only. You no longer feel nervous before missions. You have diagnosed this as a problem and chosen not to report it. Level 5. The Master Sergeant. The meetings happen in buildings with no windows. You advise now? You no longer kick doors. Your role inside the Intelligence Support Activities Liaison Framework means you understand things about ongoing operations that the operators running them do not. This is not power. This is weight. The sensory anchor is white noise. Specifically, the white noise generator running outside a secure conference room while a 3-letter agency representative briefs you on a relationship between an asset and a target that cannot be formalized on paper. Invisible rule. Level 5. At this level, operators learn the Sunset Protocol, a standing verbal agreement between senior NCOs and unit legal counsel that certain mission elements are reported using a CONOP addendum filed separately from the primary operation order, accessible only by the commanding general and one designated JAG officer. It was never written into doctrine. It has been used for 11 years. You have attended 4 memorial services this quarter. You have felt 3 of them. Level 6. The Command Sergeant, Major. You are the apex of the enlisted structure. You sit in the room when the targeting cycle produces a name, and you are one of 4 people who can say stop. You have said stop twice. You have not said stop 7 other times. You do not think about the math. The smell here is wool and recycled building air. The specific atmosphere of a joint operations center running at 0200, where the screens are blue and nobody raises their voice because volume is for people who are uncertain. Invisible rule. Level 6. The CSM of a Delta Squadron has informal veto authority over any operator's deployment status through a mechanism called a fitness flag, an undocumented notation in a personnel file that delays assignment without explanation. It has never been challenged in formal review. Everyone understands what it means. Your family has learned to not ask when you're coming home. You have learned to not feel the shape of that adjustment. Level 7. The Colonel. You command the unit now, the unit that does not appear in public DoD organizational charts. Your budget runs through a classified program element identified only by a 6-digit code in the JCID's acquisition documentation. Your conversations with the Joint Special Operations Command are not recorded. Your authority is absolute and completely deniable. The sensory anchor is silence, real silence, the silence of a man who knows too many things to speak casually about any of them. Invisible rule. Level 7. At command level, there is a standing protocol for operations that require congressional notification. The notification is fulfilled through a classified briefing given to a single member of the Gang of 8. That member is selected not by rotation, but by relationship. The relationship is never documented. You have begun to recognize your own face less. Not from neglect, from practice. Level 8, the Ghost. You no longer hold a title. Your name does not appear on an organizational chart. You exist inside a consultancy framework, an interagency liaison role, a classification level that requires a separate read-in process, even for people with full access to the programs you advise. You clear a $42,000 spread through a non-extradition offshore financial node as a contractor retainer for work that has no deliverable, no timeline, and no oversight mechanism outside of a handshake agreement made in a private dining room in a city that will not be named here. The sensory anchor is nothing, temperature neutral. You have been in enough controlled environments that your body no longer registers ambient conditions as information. You have become climate independent. You have become, essentially, a system. Invisible rule. Level 8. At this level, there are no more rules. There is only the understanding that the architecture you operated inside was never designed to be escaped, only climbed. The men at the top are not powerful. They are simply the ones who stopped looking for the exit. You are untouchable. You are completely alone. These are the same thing now. The cycle. Somewhere right now, a door is closing. The sound it makes is not a slam, it is a click. There is a man standing in a concrete room under a humming fluorescent light with 55 pounds on his back, and he does not know the distance. He thinks this is about survival. You watch him on a screen you're not supposed to have access to. You remember thinking the same thing. You say nothing. You never do.